Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the chapter 2 of our business math class. So, our topic for today is decimals, and we have this following topics. First is basic concepts. We're going to discuss as well the addition and subtraction of decimals, multiplication of decimals, division of decimals, conversion of decimal to fraction and percent, and lastly, we're going to discuss the applications of decimals. So for our learning competencies, so after this chapter, the learner will be able to first perform fundamental operations on decimals. Second is to express decimals to fraction and percent forms and vice versa. Third, that is illustrate decimal, can be written in terms of percent. Fourth, give real life situation to illustrate decimals. And lastly, solve problems involving decimal. For our first topic, we're going to discuss basic concepts. So, what is decimal? Decimals are fractions with a denominator of tens, hundred, thousands, or any multiple of power of 10. The numeric value of a decimal numeral is always less than 1. And then, what is decimal point? It is a period or a dot in a decimal numeral. It serves to separate the whole number on your left side from the fractional part on the right side. The digits to the decimal point have fractional values. So that's the tens, the hundreds, the thousands. And then round up position, in rounding a decimal numeral, we will identify to which decimal position we are rounding. So these are the steps in rounding up numbers. On our next examples, we're going to understand this deeper. Okay, so for the step is first locate the round up position and note the digit in the place to the right. What are the digits are on your life right? That's the fractional values. Second, if the digit is less than 5, all digits after the roundup position are dropped. So, meaning remain as is. Okay? Third, if the digit is greater than or equal to 5, the digit in the roundup position is increased by 1, and all the digits after the roundup positions are dropped. Um, Okay, so this is the decimal number place value chart. So remember, on your right side, this is the whole number. So it's either 1, 2, 3, 4 until 9. And this is your decimal point. Your decimal point separates the whole number and the fractional part. And this is your numerical value, decimal numerical value. That we have the tens, the hundreds, the thousand, 10,000, 100,000, millions, 10 millions, 100 millions, billions, and so on and so forth. Okay, so, in addition and subtraction of decimals, so we're going to follow the steps here. Basically, adding and subtractions are the same. It's just different in their operation. Okay, so the first step is to write the numbers so that the decimal points align. Place additional zeros to the right whenever necessary without changing the value of the number. Okay, take note of this. Second, start adding or subtracting the digits from the right column to the left. Third, align the decimal point in the answer with respect to the decimal points of the given. Okay, let's proceed to those examples. Example number one is addition. What are we going to do is first line up the decimal points. So example number one. So 76.3, um, 632.89, 62. So in this part, in a whole number, the decimal points comes to the right of the last digit. So yeah, there you go. Okay, we also need to add as many zeros as necessary to fill in the columns. And the last one, that is 12.53. Okay, so we're going to add all of this. So, okay, and then 8, 10 seconds. So this will be your answer to number 1. So same like we did to addition, we're also going to line up the decimal points and then fill in with the 0 when necessary. So 537.30. So since on the other numbers or the subtrahends, we have the 2 decimal points. So that's why we add 0 in here. And then there you go. Don't forget the operation sign. So there you go. So the answer would be 282.51. Our second topic will be the multiplication of decimals, and these are the steps. First, multiply the numbers as if they are whole numbers without regard to the decimal point. Second, count the total number of decimal places in the multiplier and multiplicand. Third, place the decimal point so that the product has the same number of decimal places as totaled in step number 2. If the total number of places in the product is greater than the places in the product, insert zeros at the left of the product. And to understand this, let's have an example. Example number 1, we have 0.63 and then 62.7. So some of it will depend on you on how you solve, but some of the people tend to align also the decimal points, but for me, I it doesn't matter in multiplication, so I simply do this like this one. So zero point 0.7 then 62. Just um, 0.62. And then you're going to do the operation. So that's 21. And then carry 4. And then, so 2 times 3, that is 6. And then 6 times 2, that is 12. Carry 1. So 2 times 0, that is 0. Plus 1, that is 1. Okay. And then 6, this one, 6 times 3, that is 18. Carry 1, 6 times 6, 36, plus 1, that is 37. And then 6 times 0, that is 0, plus 3, that is 3. Okay, and then basically, we're just going to add all of this. So, and then we're just, this one is 1. 6 plus 4 plus 6, that is 10. Carry 1, that is 4 plus 1, 5. And then 5 plus 2, that is 7. Plus 8, that is 15. Carry 1. 7 plus 1, that is 8. Plus 1, that is 9. And then lastly, 3. And then after that, we're just going to count the decimals. So in our in the first given, we have 2 places to the right of the decimal point, and then on the second, we have 1 place to the right of the decimal point. So that will give us 3 places to the right of the decimal point. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this will be your answer. That is 39.501. Okay, I want you to try number 2. We're done with the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and now let's proceed to division of decimal. So these are the steps. First, make the divisor as a whole number by moving the decimal point to the right. Move the decimal point in the dividend to the right with the same number of places as the divisor. If there are not enough places, add zeros to the right of the dividend. So zero is your friend. Okay. Third, place the decimal point in the quotient directly above the decimal point. And lastly, divide as usual. So to understand this better, let's have an example.
Let's remember, in setting up the division, adding as many zero as necessary to the right of the decimal point in the dividend to carry the answer to the 100th place. And then note that 10 is added for the 1000th place, then perform the division. Okay, like we did in addition and subtraction, we also need to align the decimal place. Okay? So, 34. So, is 27 divisible by 34? It's not, okay? So, 274 divided by 34, that will give us an answer of 8. And then basically do our multiplication, that is 8 times 4, that is 32. 3, we have 3. And then 8 times 3, that is 24, plus 3, that is 27. Okay? So 274 minus 272, that will give us an answer of 2. And then bring down 6. Okay? And then just align your decimal point here. So 26 is 26 divisible by 34? It's not. So that will give us an answer of 0. 0 times 34, that is 0. And then 265, bring down 5. 265 divide by 34, that will give us an answer of 7. So 34 times 7, that is 238. 265 minus 238, that is 27. And then remember to add as many zero as necessary to the right of your decimal point. So 0 and then bring down 0. So 270 divided by 34, that will give us an answer of 7. And 37 times 7, that will give us an answer of 238 minus 32, and so on and so forth. Okay, so our question is to find the answer to the nearest hundreds. Remember, on our first topic, the decimal number place value chart. So we have our whole number, our decimal point, the tenths, the hundreds, the thousand. So the question is to find the answer to the nearest hundred. So your answer will be 0.8 because 7 is greater than 5. And then you need to add it to your hundreds. So this will be your answer. Okay, I want you to try question number 2.
For our fifth topic, conversion of decimal to fraction and percent. So first, we're going to convert decimal to percents. And these are the steps. One is to multiply it by 100 or move the decimal point two places to the right. Second, that is to add the percent sign to the number. Lastly, if the percent is a fraction or mixed number, first convert the fraction into decimal. Then proceed to step 1 and 2. Let's have an example.
Have 0.46. We're just going to move the decimal point two places to the right. That is 1 and 2. Okay? So the answer would be 46%.
Converting percent to decimal. First, remove the percent sign. Second, divide by 100 or move the decimal point two places to the left. Third, if the percent is a fraction or a mixed number, first convert the fraction into decimal, then proceed to step number 1 and number 2. Let's have an example.
We have 75.2. So I already removed the percent sign. Then divide by 100 or move the decimal point two places to your left. So two places, 1 and 2. So this will be the decimal point will go here. So the answer would be 0.752. Okay, so example number 2, we have 35%. Again, remove the percent sign. So where's the decimal point of here? So remember, we have 0, 0 in here. Okay, so we're going to move. This is your whole number, right? And then your decimal places doesn't have um does only have 0 value, and then move it to your two places to your left. That's 1, 2. Okay, so your answer will be 0.35. And lastly, number 3. So 3 over 8 3 over 8. So if we're going to convert this into decimal, that will give us an answer of 0.375. Again, moving this to your left, two places to your left. Okay, so 1 and 2. So here. So it will give us an answer of 0.00375.
Converting decimal to fraction. First, write out the number without the decimal point. Second, represent the number in step 1 as the numerator of the fraction. Third, the denominator is followed by as many zeros as there are decimal places. Lastly, reduce it to simplest form. Let's have an example.
0.12, we're going to convert this into fraction. That will be over 100. And then, do you think this is the answer? That is no. Remember, we always need to simplify all the fractions. So that will give us an answer of 3 over 25. Okay, let's have number 2 example. 0.62, 1 half. So the decimal value of 0.62 is 100, right? So we're going to write it as this way. 1 half over 100. There are two decimal places. 1 half is a part of this decimal place. So to solve this, we need to change the numerator to an improper fraction and then solve. Remember, how do we solve division of the fraction? Okay. 62 times 2 plus 1. That will give us an answer of 62 times 2, it's 124. It's 124 plus 1, that is 125 over 2 over 100. So remember the inversion or the reciprocal. So 125 over 2 divided by 100, that is 100 over 1, remember? And then you're going to do the inversion or reciprocal of this, that is 1 over 100. And that will give you an answer of 125 over 200. Does this have lowest form? Yes, it has. So that is 5 over. Let's proceed to the application of decimal. Question number 1. The Oz Metal Company found scraps of the following lengths. So are given. We have 80.23 inches. We have 36.52 inches. We have 72.001 inches and 22.84 843 inches. So the question is, how many total inches did they have? So um, our solution is we're going to find out the total inches of the following scraps that they found. So the operation will be addition of decimal. So again, we're going to line up all the decimal values. Okay, so 36.52 72.001, and then 22.843. Okay, just add 1 plus 3, that's 4. 3 plus 2, that's 5. Plus 4, that's 9. And then 5 plus 2, 7. Plus 8, that is 15. Carry 1. 1 plus 6, that is 7. 7 plus 2, 9. Plus 2, that is 11. Okay. 8 plus 1, that's plus 3, that's 12. Plus 7, that's 19. Plus 2, that is 21. So your conclusion will be the total length is 211.594 inches. Example number 2. The stock of SJA Corporation has a high of 1,350 and 83 cents today. It closed at 1,242.69 cents. How much did the stock drop from its high? So, given the word drop, we're going to use subtraction. Okay, so what will be your given? Your given value will be it's 1,350 and 83 cents. That is today. And then it closes at the value of 1,242.69. So your operation will be subtraction. Why? Because of the word drop from its high. So your solution will be 1,350.83. Remember, in subtraction of decimals, we need to align the decimal point. Okay, that's 242.69. So this will give us an answer of 108.14. Don't forget the value sign. So therefore, your conclusion, so the stock dropped by 108.14 pesos.
Thank you for listening. According to Pythagoras, number was the substance of all things. Thank you and see you on our next class. Bye.